everyone, so I have a new review Tuesday for you guys, and this is basically on the new Urban Decay Naked palette, and dun dun dun, this is what it looks like. This is basically just what the box looks like. So it has Naked on it, and on it says Urban Decay Smoky Eye, and the inside of the palette looks like this, which I thought was really luxurious looking. It's a lot different than the other Urban Decay Naked palettes, because for those I feel like it was getting a little bit repetitive for me. It was always the same color, just like one solid color except for the rose gold. And it just says Urban Decay Naked 1, Naked 2, Naked 3, and there wasn't really a theme to it other than the rose gold. It was mostly just neutrals. Well, this palette I feel like would really take it onto the next level, and the only problem I have with this packaging is that I don't know if I would really trust myself to travel with this, just because that it is a magnetic closure, and on top of that this is a plastic kind of material that is packaged. If I put this into my suitcase and something like when happening to it, my suitcase gets tossed and like thrown, or like I don't know, like people don't really take care of it when they put it on the plane, then my eyeshadows can easily be broken. And I read reviews online of people who got their Urban Decay Naked palette, and I read reviews online where people got this little guy shipped to their house and it came broken, which I'm not really surprised just because of the packaging like flaws, I feel like. And I honestly don't know how I feel about this packaging, just because I feel like it is just so not sturdy and so easy to break. If you're looking for a palette to travel with, definitely skip this. It comes with a really big mirror, and I think that this mirror is pretty good for doing your eyeshadows because it is really long and like really wide. But it's not really good if you want it for like, you know, like your face makeup and all that. It's really only suitable for doing your eyes in my opinion, just because it's so long. So there's 12 eyeshadow in here. The really good thing about this palette is that it has a variety of finishes. It basically contains, I would say, 5 shimmer finishes, 3 satin finishes, and 4 matte formulas. So that is a variety of finishes in here that I personally would really enjoy. I love Urban Decay shimmer finishes and satin finishes. I like them both. But what I love the most about Urban Decay eyeshadows, I feel like, is their matte finishes. The matte formulas are incredible. They are super pigmented. They don't go on chalky. The problem I have with the shimmers sometimes that there is a little bit of fallout here and there, and I do get shimmers like on my face throughout the day, so that's one of the problems I have with the shimmers. The pigmentation of each one of those I would say are mostly amazing and incredible, just like what Urban Decay has done with the rest of their eyeshadow palettes, except for the Naked 3. I feel like out of all the Naked palettes, this one's my favorite, just because that the pigmentation is just so high there compared to everything else. Other than the pigmentation, let's move on to the con side about these shadows. One of the downsides I had with eyeshadows from Urban Decay that I experienced throughout like 4 or 5 years is basically it would not last on me. Even with the primer, it does not look the same as when I first applied. So these eyeshadow with the Urban Decay eyeshadow primer, it lasts 14 hours. It does last the whole day it will be there. But it's not the same as when you first applied. The intensity definitely disappears. So say when I use this like sturdy sweet color and it's a really pretty antique gold, but at the end of the day all I see is a little bit of yellow on my eyelid. After 4 to 5 hours, you really do notice that there is a big difference in the intensity of the eyeshadows on the eyelid. Even at 3-hour mark, I start to notice a little bit of change. I never had that issue with Maybelline eyeshadows, so I mean, like, there are great eyeshadows in the drugstore that can do just the same. Another downside to these eyeshadows that I found is that sometimes some of the shadows tend to look the same on my eyelid, and you will see that throughout the swatches. Taking Smolder for example, this is a really pretty purple color, and now this color looks a lot different from the color Dagger, if you can see on my hands, and it looks a lot different than the color Slanted, if you can see on my hands. These 3 colors does not look that similar at all. When I swatch it, you will see that they almost look identical, and when I wear on my eyelid, I can barely notice the difference. So the problem with that especially is that I feel like if I wanted to create a purple smoky eye and like a silver edge to it, it will get smudged all into one really quickly at the hour 3 mark, and after that it's just a mess. Like everything just looked like the same color, and for that reason I don't think you can create as great a variety of looks that you want to as when you first look at it and think that you could. But nevertheless, I still love this palette, and you're getting 12 eyeshadows for 60 bucks, which breaks down to $5 a piece, which is something that I personally think is really worth it, because at $5 a shadow, like that's basically drugstore price, and these are really decent quality shadows in terms of pigmentation. If you are a fan of smoky eyes, go pick this up. You will probably really like this. I'm not someone who really likes smoky eyes like for every day, but I found a lot of like ways to wear this on a daily basis. This palette also comes with a double-ended brush. I personally don't like this brush at all. I feel like it takes away from the pigmentation way too much. I don't know exactly what it is about this brush. Whatever eyeshadow I pack with this brush, it ends up being chalky, and it ends up just not being that great. Like I really do feel like I lose the intensity with this brush as if like I apply with like a concealer brush or just even with my fingers. I do like one side of it to blend with it, but I feel like the fibers are a bit long for my liking, and they're not really like even, so I feel like blending wise it's not like a perfection to work with, but it's definitely workable. The other side of packing eyeshadows onto your lid, I really don't like this side. So let's move on to the swatches. So first up we have High. High is a shimmer champagne color. This color definitely reminds me a lot of Stila Kitten, and I feel like it's almost a dupe for it. Next up we have Dirty Sweet. Dirty Sweet is kind of an antique gold that has a little bit more of the cool tone on it. It's not something as vibrant as Half Baked. Next up we have Radar. This color is something that I would describe as like everyday brown color that is kind of light, and this actually reminds me of a lot of Maybelline Tattoo in the color Bad to the Bronze. Next up we have Armor. Now Armor is something that I would describe as a taupey silver color. Armor has a lot of shimmery in it, and this is probably one of the most shimmery colors in the whole palette. It is something that's really pretty to wear alone as well. Just a really beautiful color overall. It has really intense pigmentation. And then next up we have Slanted. Slanted is something that I would consider as a true silver. Slanted has a little bit of a blue tone underneath as well, so it kind of almost like a bluish silver color. So next up we have Dagar. Dagar is a really pretty navy color with a lot of shimmer inside it, and this color is also crazily pigmented. And then after that we have Black Market, which is a true black. This color goes on a little bit patchy and a little bit chalky as well, but it is crazily pigmented, and it's just the texture is a little bit uneven. That's the only problem I have it, and there is a little bit of fallout in this color as well. This is something that is more of a true matte black. So after that we have Smolder. Smolder is a really pretty purple color that is also a matte formula. And this purple color is really dark. It's not something like your everyday vibrant purple. And then after that we have Password. This is one of my favorite colors in the whole palette. So Password is a really true taupey gray color that is a matte formula. Whiskey is also another one of my favorite color out of the whole palette. This is a true matte brown color. Whiskey and Password, I feel like these two colors together would be great for using it on your brows. I personally have done that before, and I love the look. The color after that is Combust. The problem I have with Combust is that it looks exactly the same as my skin tone, so on me it really doesn't do anything. It's definitely a color that can be used for transition or anything like that. Just personally on me, it looks exactly the same as my skin tone. The last color we have in here is 13, which I don't really know why they named it 13 because there's only 12 colors in here, and this is a really pretty matte highlight color. If you're a fan of Naked palettes, I would say this is probably their best one in my opinion. It is the one that I like the most. If you are a fan of smoky eyeshadows, I'd definitely say that go check this out. Overall, I would say it's a really good palette. Overall, I feel like there is enough finishes in here that you can create a variety of look with this. You can definitely create a day look and a night look. And overall, I do enjoy almost every single shadow in here except for like maybe 3. So I would say this is a total hit. I would definitely recommend this palette, but just be aware that there are some flaws in this palette that I have found personally with myself. I don't know if those are personal issues or not, of them smudging to one color, but I feel like it wouldn't be. So anyways guys, that is all for my review today on the new Naked Urban Decay Smoky Eyeshadow Palette. If you like this review, please give us a thumbs up, and if you like this review, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more reviews like this. I will try to post more regularly just because I have been pretty busy lately. And thank you so much for being here with me today and watching this review. I really hope that this review helped you with your decision of whether or not to buy this palette. And without further ado, bye!